to the Daytona International Speedway for the Season 5 Chick-fil-A Cup Series Daytona 500. Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is the first race in Season number 5 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, the Daytona 500. And you guys have waited way too long for this one, and I would like to apologize for postponing this to today. But after all those unfortunate events, I just needed to take a break and kind of refocus a little bit. But I'm ready to roll, and we're all ready to roll here for the Daytona 500 in Season number 5 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. A 40-lap race here today around this 2.5-mile speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida. And it is the biggest race in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Now, the interesting thing here, a couple of fun facts. There are only 2 past Daytona 500 champions in the field for this race. That's the first 2 Daytona 500 champions, Jesse Turner and Nicholas Samedeo. They both won each of their respective dual races last week. And they're going to start in the same row in row number 2. You can see them there. If you saw qualifying about a week and a half ago, you saw Cameron Black win the pole for the Daytona 500, and he has been waiting forever to get this race started for us. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to start this, we're going to let these guys roll off here for this Season 5, the 5th annual, even though it's not technically annual, but the 5th annual Daytona 500 in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. It'll be Cameron Black and Aiden Shepard who will lead the field off. I'll go ahead to the TV1 cam and follow these guys here. The starting lineup for the 5th annual Chick-fil-A Cup Series Daytona 500. At the bottom of your screen right there, Cameron Black, Aiden Shepard, a veteran driver and a rookie driver on the front row. And then it's 2 longtime veterans and the only 2 Daytona 500 champions in the field, Nicholas Samedeo and Jesse Turner. Then we got a rookie, Michael DeFeo, in the number 20 machine, making his first ever Chick-fil-A Cup Series start here today. And the 24 of Elijah Gordon. We got 2 rookies here. The 83 of Seth Cole. It might not sound like a rookie name, but he's making his first ever start here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, along with rookie Bryce Loford in the number 41. Then we have another rookie, Griffin Lynn, in the number 38. And making his first starts in Season 2 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, Jonathan Skavnicki in the number 46 rounds out the top 10 starting lineup for the Daytona 500. Take a look at the rest of the starting lineup on the bottom of your screen right there. See where you start in this race. You may notice that some guys who were in duel number 2 are starting on the inside lane and vice versa. Had a couple late entries into the field, and they did not officially qualify, so they had to go to the back of the field, and you'll see who they are there. And that is Jordan Newman and Eric Almenhart, who are racing in the back of the field for this one. But still, doesn't really matter where you start for this one, because we have a lot of passing here at Daytona, and you can work your way from the back to the front. Literally, in the Truck Series race yesterday, winner Cookie Helms started in last place, and 20 laps later, he won the race. That could happen here today. It's 40 laps here for the Daytona 500. And anybody, any of these 42 drivers in the field can win this race here today. The pace car is pulled off. It's Cameron Black and Aiden Shepard. And the Daytona 500 for Season 5 is green here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Cameron Black getting the advantage on the inside. He has Season 2 Daytona 500 champion Nicholas Samedeo right behind him. If you remember that race, Samedeo won it in stunning fashion by 0.000 hundredths of a second. But he had the very slight advantage in that race in Season 2, well over a year ago actually. And it looks like the number 13 is going to get the run on the inside and lead lap number 1 here in the Daytona 500. How about rookie Bryce Loford in the number 41 here on the inside lane? He's inside of Michael DeFeo. Got Jonathan Skavnicki moving his way up on the inside lane as well, with the 22 of Ryan Madden and defending Chick-fil-A Cup Series champion Matt Dallio in the number 88. And behind him, it's the Season 3 champion of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, Cameron Garlington. Not too far from those guys, it's the Season 2 champion, Jesse Turner. Those three names are household names in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. And here they are all running up front in the Great American Race for Season 5. Nicholas Amadio trying to get the run on the outside of Bryce Lofor. My goodness, they're going to go 4 wide. Aiden Shepard up into the wall. They're still 4 wide. They haven't crashed yet. It's Elijah Gordon, Caleb Hoffman, and Cameron Garlington. Aiden Shepard, the outside pole sitter, getting shuffled out of line and into the outside wall. It looks like they're going to figure it all out. Maybe not. I think Elijah Gordon's trying to get a run on the outside of Hoffman here. They're still 4 wide, with now Turner and Salzman on the opposite ends of those guys. Jonathan Skavnicki is going for the lead with Bryce Lofor. They're 4 wide at a turn number 4, and it's not going to work. Elijah Gordon around. The 6 of Hoffman, Jesse Turner, Jack Porkins, Trey Bartow, Aiden Shepard, Seth Cole, the 95 of John Art, and Stuart Gratton down in the grass. And our first caution of the Season 5 Daytona 500 has occurred. Cody Smart, a rookie driver involved in this one. Caleb Hoffman, tough break for him. Jesse Turner, the Season 1 Daytona 500 champion. He won this race, the first ever Chick-fil-A Cup Series race. Oh man, that was a long time ago. 15 months ago. He was involved, the outside pole sitter, Aiden Shepard, with a ton of damage as well in the number 3. My, oh my. A tough break for all those guys involved. Fortunately, it was not a violent crash, because it does appear that everybody involved was able to keep on rolling at the end of that one. And this is where strategy is going to play in here. It is possible, especially if this thing were to have gone green to the end. These guys would have had to make a pit stop late in the going. But pole sitter Cameron Black's going to lead Christian Master down just to make sure they can make it to the end. So they're going to start behind a lot of these guys on the restart. See Marty Johnson, he actually got a piece of that crash. A part-time driver there in the number 40. At Griffin Lynn in the 38, he also got involved. And you see Elijah Gordon, a lot of those guys involved in the crash back in here. Anyways, let's go ahead and review the crash to see what brought out the caution for the first time today in the Season 5 Chick-fil-A Cup Series Daytona 500. And this is what happened here. Caleb Hoffman, Elijah Gordon, Jesse Turner, and that's Jacob Reed in the 18. The amount of experience between these 4 guys going 4 wide at this moment is, as far as I know, I'm just going to think of this on the top of my head, including season number 5, 19 seasons between those 4 guys. Elijah Gordon did not race in season number 1. He is the least experienced driver in this. And he's Elijah Gordon. He's a pretty good driver, too. But this is what happened. It's the infamous 4 wide at a turn number 4 at Daytona. Caleb Hoffman and Elijah Gordon. It's Hoffman that gets into Elijah Gordon there. And Turner nowhere to go. Marty Johnson getting pushed into the 43. And you see Aiden Shepard back in here. Bonsignor in the 1 got a piece of Marty Johnson. You see these guys sideways. Seth Cole, Griffin Lynn, Joe Arvin Alonso, they all stack up on the outside lane there. Jack Porkins, the part-time driver in the 33 involved. The number 4 of Trey Bartow. He's a 5-season veteran here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and he goes around in the number 4. He shot back up the racetrack. Actually, I think he stopped it there in the number 4. You see these guys come in. Tristan Allen with damage. Possibly. That could be a glitch because I don't see any on him. But a lot of these guys here, Josh Crash, I think he got a piece of Caleb Hoffman there. You see Bartow sideways on the racetrack. And Aiden Shepard. Jesse Turner's the tough one here. He won this race in season number 1, the first ever Chick-fil-A Cup Series race, but it does not look like he's going to go to victory lane today. Cody Smart, Seth Cole also involved in this one. And Jonathan Skavnicki in the number 46 in his return to the Chick-fil-A Cup Series after quite a long time is the leader. We're going to go ahead and review it a couple more times, then we'll get to the restart here in the Daytona 500. Going to replay this one in real time, following the 6 of Caleb Hoffman. Those are some very experienced drivers getting involved in this one. And Hoffman Down on the apron there, Elijah Gordon got into him. You see Bartow and Tristan Allen and everybody. It just happens so fast, you can't keep up with anybody. Seth Cole there in the 83 went around. Cody Smart, a couple of those rookies there. Oh, and then Seth Cole got into the 43. Now, Zachary Fitzwater and Blaine Keys were also a couple guys getting involved in this one. And I think rookie Larry Ike has some damage in the 98 as well. We'll see what happened to those guys. I'm going to follow here with Larry Ike in the 98. Him along with Zachary Fitzwater and I forget who else it was. Zachary Fitzwater and Blaine Keys. See, there's Ike getting into Cody Smart, and here's Keys. He gets into Hoffman there. That's a kind of a slow crash there. And then Fitzwater. Okay, my sister's blowing her nose. Didn't really need to say that, but Blaine Keys there in the 48 and the 44 of Zachary Fitzwater getting involved in that one there. But anyways, those are the guys involved. We'll go on and on board here, and then we'll get to the restart here in the Daytona 500. On board, Season 1 Daytona 500 champion and Season 2 Chick-fil-A Cup Series champion, Jesse Turner, in the number 43. See that 24 come up on him. It was Hoffman that got into the 24. Then got the 24 into the 43 and around with the Season 1 Daytona 500 winner. You can see the damage from on board the 43. Fortunately, it was not a majorly violent crash. A couple guys might get knocked out, however, because of front-end damage. But we'll go ahead and get to the restart here in the Daytona 500 for Season 5 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Jonathan Skabnicki, the leader, in the number 46. Back here at the Daytona International Speedway for the Season 5 Chick-fil-A Cup Series Daytona 500. Jonathan Skabnicki hasn't raced in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series race since Season number 2. But here he is, leading in the Season 5 Daytona 500. We have the defending champion of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, Matt Dalio, running in second. Bryce Lofor, Michael DeFeo, Season 3 champion, Cameron Carlington, Nicholas Samadeo, the Season 2 Daytona 500 champion. 19 of Tyler Selzman, Rookie of the Year, Ryan Madden, Jacob Reed, and Noah Cars. The top 10 here at Daytona. To take a look and see who got knocked out in this one, and only two guys, Marty Johnson and outside pole sitter Aiden Shepard, to the garage. Unfortunate thing for those guys there. They couldn't finish this race. But we still have 40 guys out here on the racetrack, and that's a recipe for another quick caution. But we're just going to have to see how it all plays out. These guys are kind of spread out here to start off. That's usually how it is on these restarts. Usually they bunch back up as the run goes on. And there goes Matt Dalio trying to pick up right where he left off. He won the finale race in Season number 4 along with the championship. And winning the Daytona 500 right after that, that's a pretty good thing for that 88 team. Trying to get that middle lane / inside lane to work, and I think he's going to have the advantage on Skabnicki at the line on lap 8 of 40 in the Daytona 500. Rookie Michael DeFeo trying to get something to work on the inside here. Nicholas Samadeo is going to shove up to the middle lane there. Got Jacob Reed in the 18 on the inside, Abe Troxel in the 27, and Alex Bonsignor in the 1. Go back up here, and Skabnicki getting that push on the outside from rookie Bryce Lofor and Cameron Carlington. And that's going to push the 46 to the point here in the 500. Here comes the 88. Matt Dalio's going to shove up to the middle lane. Shove up. That's a new phrase there. Dalio's going to barely beat Bryce Lofor for second, but it's Skabnicki out front him, the 46. Michael DeFeo in the 20. Not getting that inside lane to work like he'd want to. It's the outside lanes that's the place to be right now. And Skabnicki has shown us that. He was on that outside lane, and he's got choices. He can block Dalio, and he's single file out front for the lead right now. It's a very good thing there for Skabnicki in the 46. But Dalio is an aggressive driver, and you know he's not going to let that 46 skip this win. Of course, we're still going to have 30 laps to go when we cross the line this time. The Daytona 500 was only 30 laps long for the first 3 seasons of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. We extended it to 40 laps in Season number 4, and we had a fantastic finish, so Gonna do it for 40 laps once again. Dalio now getting the run through the middle with Nicholas Samadillo and Abe Troxel behind him. Abe Troxel, the runner-up for the Season 3 championship. He's right alongside the guy he lost the championship to, Cameron Garlington there, in that third lane. That third row, I should say. Not third lane, third row. Garlington's in the third lane up, but Troxel's in the second lane. Whether you're going up or going down, he's in the second lane. There goes Michael DeFeo, 3 wide for the lead, getting the run barely over Dalio and Skabnicki. He's got Jacob Reed behind him. Jacob Reed was leading him the truck race yesterday, but got stuck behind lap traffic and was unable to get the victory in that one after he won it the first time. But here he is running up front in the Daytona 500 in the number 18. He's got Alex Bonsignor and Stuart Gratton behind him, with part-time driver Jack Porkins moving his way through the field in the 33. Got a decently sized pack here for the lead. Then we got guys back in here that were involved in the crash. We got Blaine Keys, Jesse Turner, Seth Cole. That's Caleb Hoffman and Elijah Gordon. Then we got Cody Smart and Tristan Allen all by themselves there. Trey Bartow and Griffin Lynn all by themselves. And then got some stragglers here on the rest of the pack. Larry Ike, Josh Crash, and here Joe Larvin Alonso. Kind of drafting with the lead pack, but not quite. My apologies there for the cough. Uh-oh. Gratton's gonna force it. Nope. Bonsignor almost made room for Stuart Gratton to make it 4 wide, but fortunately that did not happen. Dalio's still in the middle here, and Skibnicki's still getting that outside lane to work. Trying to push Michael DeFeo past Jacob Reed for the lead. A couple of Gibbs cars out front. Very reminiscent of the real Daytona 500 this year. Matt Kenseth on the outside of... I'm so sorry. I'm very sorry. Michael DeFeo in the number 20 on the outside of Jacob Reed. That isn't Matt Kenseth technically. That's Michael DeFeo here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. My mistake there. It's easy when we get a custom car like this, like Stuart Gratton and Jack Porkins, you know. Those aren't real cars, which I actually kind of don't like. As I said, I'm going to not allow custom cars after Season 5. I want to keep them real, you know. And I do edit. You can probably see that I edit the name bars on the top there with the name of the actual driver. So you see the number 1 has Bonsignor there. On the name bar, you got Jacob Reed with his name bar in the middle. And Jacob Reed led lap number 14 here in the Daytona 500. We're 3 wide for the lead, and it doesn't look like anybody is going to budge here for this lead in the Daytona 500. Not even halfway through this race yet. Bonsignor's getting that inside lane to work pretty well, but the outside lane gets a good run down the backstretch, and DeFeo and Reed are showing us that. There's Jacob Reed in the middle with help from Matt Dalio. But it's number 1 of Alex Bonsignor. I keep on moving up him through the field because I keep on thinking Bonsignor has the advantage on Reed, but he doesn't. And Jacob Reed getting that middle lane to work. I think he did this in the truck race yesterday, late in the going in that one. He was in the middle lane late in the going there, and he kept on leading quite a few laps there in that middle lane. But it looks like he might be losing a little bit here as Bonsignor gets a good run to the inside, but just as I'm going to say that, Reed's going to get a good push through the middle lane down the backstretch, but it doesn't look like that's actually going to happen this time. It's the outside lane with Michael DeFeo with a great push from Jonathan Skabnicki, who's going to take the lead on lap 16 of 40 in the Daytona 500. Alex Bonsignor has Stuart Gratton and Jack Porkins behind him, but it's the outside lanes that are getting the best run here in the Daytona 500 at this moment. Michael DeFeo leading lap 16 in the Great American Race for Season 5 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Jonathan Skabnicki in the 46 trying to work the outside. He's got Season 2 Daytona 500 champion Nicholas Samadillo behind him. That's a good guy to have behind you here at Daytona. Of course, you know, he might go to the inside at the end of the race and steal one from you, but he'll definitely race you respectively until the end of the race. That's how a lot of these guys are. But when you got a Daytona 500 win sitting right in front of you, it might not necessarily happen too nicely. And we have 4 wide back in here. Garrett Tenor, Nicholas Gratton, Davey Johnson, and Cameron Garlington. They almost crashed coming out of 4. They bumped around a little bit, but they avoided a crash. But they're still 4 wide. And 4 wide at any place here at Daytona is a bad thing. There's Eric Almenhart on the inside there, moving his way up. And it's still 4 wide for these guys. Nicholas Gratton, Davey Johnson, and Cameron Garlington. A lot of good drivers here in the field for the Season 5 Daytona 500. But will they be good enough to avoid a major crash? No, they won't. Behind them they crash, and they crash in front of them. Sinor, Davey Johnson, William Brock, tumbling. Oh my goodness. Shades of Max Newworth in Season 3. William Brock. Major crash for the 59. A part-time driver there. Zachary Fitzwater also with damage late in the going. That's Josh Crash. Rookie of the Year, Ryan Madden. Davey Johnson, Larry Ike. Still got these guys. Hopefully they're clear there, because these guys are coming in fast, and I think they have cleared. My, oh my, what a wild ride for William Brock in the number 59. And that one's gotta hurt for the part-time driver there. Leader is Michael DeFeo in the number 20, winning the race back to the line. We're not quite halfway through this race. Now, we've already had our second caution in the Daytona 500, and that's Zachary Fitzwater. He's done for the day in that 44. A lot of these guys back in here who were involved in that first crash but didn't have enough oomph in their cars to contend with anybody else, I guess. That's a good way of saying it. I don't know. They avoided the crash because everybody was cleared up before they got to him. We're going to see some guys come in here. Now, Sinor was partly involved in this one here, and it does appear that he has some damage in the number 16. Not sure if Matt Tuck has some damage in the 78 as well. And you see Selsman has some left side damage. And I don't know if Garlington was involved. But most of the leaders are going to stay out, and they are led by the number 20 of Michael DeFeo. We're going to go ahead and review and see what happened to bring out the second caution here in the Season 5 Chick-fil-A Cup Series Daytona 500. So this was kind of a double crash, because these guys back in here crashed before the guys we were following. We were following those guys up there, the 17 and the 31. They were 4 wide behind that with Christian Master, Zachary Fitzwater, Tyler Selsman, and pole sitter Cameron Black. And this one did not end too well. You see the 14 here. He's just going to shoot up. I think these guys, they crashed nearly the same time. You see Sinor get him to Gratton. That shoots Davey Johnson up in the Garlington, and you see Master and the 44 of Fitzwater getting to each other here, but this is where it gets crazy. At the 59, William Brock. It looks like he's going to be okay at this point, but Larry Ike in the 98, I don't really want to know if you call it an arc brake, but it almost looks like the 98 sped up into him, and when that 98 impacted that 59, it sent the 59 tumbling over and over, crossed the start-finish line. He got totally airborne there in the 59, barrel rolling through the tri-oval, and that is very reminiscent of the crash Max Newworth had here in the Season 3 Daytona 500. Max Newworth, another part-time driver this season, unfortunately failed to qualify for this race, and Ryan Madden nowhere to go for the Rookie of the Year. And that was definitely one of the craziest rides we have seen in the Daytona 500, and Fitzwater in there late as well. A tough break for all those guys involved. Josh Crash, Larry Ike, and Davey Johnson getting the worst of this one. Most of these guys involved that you don't see, most of the guys that were involved that you don't see, they just got minor damage. Like you see the 19, the 23, and the 16, they all kind of got pushed into the outside wall. But they should be able to continue this race because they didn't get any front-end damage. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and review this crash a little bit more. Then we'll get to the restart here in the Daytona 500. Follow here with the 4 wide we were following initially between the 17 and the 31. That's Nicholas Gratton, Davey Johnson. They get into each other there, but that's the minor part. You see this 59. That was wild in the number 59 Chevy for William Brock. And Madden just had nowhere to go. He tried to avoid it, and Fitzwater comes in late. You see Josh Crash with a lot of damage. I think Crash is going to be done for the rest of the day on that 15, and so will be Davey Johnson and Larry Ike. So a lot of smoke from those cars. On board with William Brock in the number 59. This one's going to be a wild ride. He's spins around, and right when Larry Ike hits him, my goodness. Wild crash for William Brock, the championship runner-up for season number 4, coming to a part-time ride for season 5, and it isn't starting too well for the number 59 of William Brock. Anyways, Michael DeFeo in the number 20 is the leader, and we'll get to the restart right now in the season 5 Daytona 500. Back here at Daytona for the Season 5 Chick-fil-A Cup Series Daytona 500. We are on lap 22 of 40. We'll restart on lap 23. Michael DeFeo, a rookie driver here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. We had a rookie win here last season with Gabriel Wanderlei in the 21. He's not racing this season. And Michael DeFeo looking to become the second rookie winner of the Daytona 500. He leads. Jonathan Skivnicki did a fantastic job on that run, keeping his car inside the top 2. He's second. Jacob Reed is third. Alex Bonsignor and Stuart Gretton. Nicholas Samadillo, Matt Dallio, Jack Porkins, Bryce Lofor, and Abe Troxel, the top 10 here. Coming to lap 23, completing lap 22 in the Daytona 500. Guys getting knocked out in this one: Ryan Madden, William Brock, Zachary Fitzwater, Josh Crash, Larry Ike, and Davey Johnson. We're going to fail to finish here today in the Great American Race. Tough break for those guys, but with this championship format, if you win a race, you're automatically in the chase, with the exception of the part-time drivers, of course. But if you win a race, you're automatically in the chase, and you can use that to win the championship pretty easily. Matt Dallio did that. Didn't really have that good of a season going for him until he won at IRP, which we're not going back to this season because that was a lame race. But Matt Dallio, you know, he didn't even win a race till race 14, just before the chase begun. But he was able to get the championship. Anyways, Jacob Reed able to take advantage of Michael DeFeo's mistake of pulling out way too far there, and Reed's going to get back in the middle lane, but here comes the Season 2 Daytona 500 champion, Nicholas Samadillo, returning to the ride he drove for that season. Nicholas Samadillo has been in the 48 the past 2 seasons here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. The only other time he drove the number 13 was when he was a rookie in Season 2. So I just said Gabriel Wanderlei was the first rookie winner. He wasn't. It was this guy, Nicholas Samadillo, in the number 13. My bad there. I don't consider Nicholas Samadillo a rookie because he's been racing on this channel well before Napa Fan even existed. But still, Samadillo was the first ever rookie winner of the Daytona 500. Gabriel Wanderlei was the second. But Michael DeFeo's trying to become the third. And he's got a lot of options here in the number 20. Single file out front for the lead, blocking everybody. And that number 20 has a good shot at winning here today, but we still have, when we cross the line, 15 laps to go here in the Daytona 500. Still a ways to go in this one before it's over. And DeFeo has help from his teammate, Jacob Reed. Joe Gibbs racing there in that middle lane. Nicholas Samadillo, he's got Jack Porkins behind him, a rookie driver in a part-time custom car. On that inside lane there, Porkins has the 95 of John Arnn and the 32 of Cameron Gaggio. A couple guys we haven't really talked about in this race. Gaggio, I mean, he's been really quiet throughout Speed Week. So has Arnn. I mean, these guys, they're running up here. They got a shot at winning. Also got Cameron Black, the pole sitter. He's been very quiet throughout this race, but he's in contention. And how about the 2 late entries? Eric Almenart in the number 10 and the 7 of Jordan Newman. They're here in this pack with Noah Cars and Dan Smith Jr. behind these guys. Dallio's still in this. Got Josh Marzak, a rookie, in the number 34. Bryce Lofor, a rookie, in the 41. A lot of different drivers here in this lead pack, and any one of them in this pack can win this race. Even the number 4 of Trey Bart. Oh my goodness! Whoa! That was close there between Jack Porkins and the number 18 of Jacob Reed. They almost spun each other around. The 33 almost spun the 18 around. I don't know what the 33 was thinking there. He was kind of going up the racetrack almost, like he came in at a bad angle. But all is good right now, especially for the 33, as he's going to go for the lead 3 wide. But Nicholas Amadio, you don't want him to be on the inside of you coming to the line at the finish of this one, because he can break hearts for sure. And this number 13 trying to take the lead from Michael DeFeo, but the rookie driver is getting it to work on the outside, and I really like it that he's been able to stay up front a majority of this race. Same goes for Skibnicki in the 46. Jonathan Skibnicki has been in the top 10 basically this whole race long in that number 46. And I'm telling you, those guys definitely are doing a fantastic job keeping their cars up front. A little shuffle there. As Jacob Reed finds his way on the outside lane as Alex Bonsignor let him do that. And Jack Porkins got shuffled to the middle lane there in the 33. Not a good place to be, but these guys, they're starting to get a little antsy here. They're not as orderly as they were early on in the race. We still have 12 to go in this one. But these guys, they're getting a little anxious. They have a pretty big shot at winning this race. And they want to make sure that they are in the right position to win it when the time comes. How about this 95? John Arndt moving his way to the inside, but it's basically a side-by-side battle between Nicholas Amadio and Michael DeFeo this whole run. But the 95 looking to change that. John Arndt trying to get the inside lane to work. He can't quite do it. Amadio cannot beat the 20 to the line yet. DeFeo has beaten the 13 of Nicholas Amadio basically every single lap. These guys have been side by side. And things are going to get very interesting here very shortly. Garrett Zenor, extremely slow in the number 16. They're going to hit him right now. And the outside lane gets held up with Michael DeFeo in the 20. But we still have 11 to go in this one. And any of these guys getting held up by Zenor still have a shot at winning this race, because we still have quite a bit to go in this one. It's Zenor holding up these guys. He's holding up the inside lane with Almanhart, Bryce Lofor, Noah Cars, and defending champion Matt Dalio. Jack Porkins, Bonsignor, and Stuart Gratton on the outside there. That was a good break for Trey Bartow, who was kind of straggling behind this pack. These guys will bunch back together, and they will catch up to these guys here, especially if these guys keep on hitting more lap traffic. My goodness, Nicholas Amadio out front in the 13. He's trying to pull away, though. Gaju had trouble getting around Blaine Keys in the 48. And this thing's getting really interesting here. We might end up with a crash the way these guys are getting around these lap cars. Dan Smith Jr. getting held up by the 48, a part-time driver there, trying to get a win here in the Daytona 500. But the guys who broke away, and that is a damage glitch, just to let you know. Nicholas Amadio is running just fine, but there's a Chevy out there with a lot of damage, and I think it might have been Blaine Keys when they were trying to drive around him. We got Caleb Hoffman extra slow here. My goodness, these guys are splitting the lap traffic. This is weird. This is really interesting. I've never seen these guys race like this before around the lap traffic, but the thing is, the lap traffic is just so slow. Looks like it's going to be a while before we hit any other lap traffic, because you got these guys here running in a pack, so they're gonna. That's really going to shake things up when we get to these guys, if we get to these guys. Anyways, the cars who split away from the first lap car of Garrett Zenor were Nicholas Amadio, Josh Marzak, John Arndt, the 11 of Cameron Black, the pole sitter still in this thing, Jonathan Skibnicki and Cameron Gaju. And Gaju got stuck behind Blaine Keys. He slowed down. Expect the 20 of DeFeo, the 7 of Jordan Newman, the 35 of Dan Smith Jr., Troxel, Bartow, and Jacob Reed. To kind of form a pack here and close up to our leaders before this thing ends. Amadio in the number 13 is continuing to lead here in the Daytona 500. And he's kind of pulling away here from Marzak and all these guys, but look at the way these guys are racing. They're not racing in an orderly pack at all. They're trying to get all they can get right now. They're thinking about right now. They're not thinking about the long term here. Skibnicki for second, underneath of Josh Marzak. And you see the lap cars back in here with Turner, Gordon, Seth Cole, and Selzman. They're way ahead. However, I think it's possible we might end up hitting Zenor, Keys, and Hoffman again on the racetrack before this thing is done. And that might play into things. Remember the Season 2 Daytona 500 when Nicholas Amadio won? We hit lap traffic coming out of turn number 4. Will we see the same today? But you gotta hand it here. All these guys racing in this pack have raced multiple times in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, except for Josh Marzak in the number 34. Now, Michael DeFeo kind of also has the same thing here, along with Dan Smith Jr., but those are the three rookies running up front that have a shot at getting this win. See, this 6-car pack is definitely going to close up on this 5-car pack before this thing is done, I think. There goes Marzak. He has help from the Daytona 500 pole sitter, Cameron Black. It would be something if Black won this race, starting from the pole. But you got to hand it to him. He's had a great race so far. And I would not be surprised if Cameron Black pulled it off. But Marzak, he's never won a Napa Fan race before. But he might just do it here today in the 34. 5 to go in the Daytona 500 for Josh Marzak, who currently leads it. This inside lane is now working Sam Adio's lead. He had led quite a few laps there as this pack had split off. But now he's going to file in third on the outside with Skibnicki behind him and Cameron Black and Marzak in front of him. These guys going really fast, but here comes this pack with DeFeo, Newman, Smith Jr., Troxel, Reed, and Gaju. I do not believe anybody else in this race will have a shot at winning the Daytona 500 except from cars from Cameron Gaju to the leader, Josh Marzak. You probably are seeing the Daytona 500 winner on your screen right now. Right? Probably now-ish, you know. You get what I mean here. All the cars in this 10-car pack, or sorry, 11-car pack right here, one of those guys is probably going to win the Daytona 500. And Nicholas Amadio, remember, he got shuffled behind on the outside. He's found his way back to the inside of Marzak. And Nicholas Amadio is going to take the lead back on lap 37 of 40. We're going to have 3 laps to go, this time by, in the Season 5 Daytona 500. Oh, man. That looked like Season 2. Marzak was able to lead that lap. Here comes Cameron Black in the 11. He's to the inside of Nicholas Amadio and Josh Marzak for the lead. And here comes Cameron Gaju in the 32. Cameron Gaju has raced in every single season of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, but he has never made the chase. Can he do it today? Marzak getting the run on the outside. These guys are going to close up on lap traffic late in the going. How are they going to get around these guys? We're going to have to see. Marzak getting the run on the outside, but Seth Cole getting in his way. Sam Adio's going with the 34. Black's getting held up by the 43, but Marzak and Sam Adio are getting held up by Elijah Gordon. Marzak getting away from the lap traffic and keeping the 13 behind. Marzak pulling away in the 34, but that is not good. You don't want to pull away at a track like this. Sam Adio's trying to get to him, and he is going to be able to. They're closing up on Garrett Zenor. They're going to easily get around him. The rest of the guys are held up by lap traffic, and the white flag is going to go to rookie Josh Marzak in the number 34. But here comes Sam Adio in the 13. He's going to get a run to the inside on the final lap. I don't think anybody else is going to get a shot at winning this race except for the 13 and the 34. I don't think Skibnicki is going to get to these guys in time. Sam Adio to the inside of Marzak for the lead. He won his dual race a week and a half ago, and here he is with a half lap to go in the Daytona 500. But Josh Marzak in the 34 is going to get a run to the inside, and Skibnicki is closing fast. Here we go. Josh Marzak in the 34, Nicholas Amadio in the 13. We're going to have a side-by-side battle. It's going to rookie Josh Marzak, who wins the Daytona 500. My goodness. Are you kidding me? Sam Adio got around the 34, heading in the 1 on the final lap. But Marzak did the same, heading into turn number 3. And Josh Marzak wins the Season 5 Chick-fil-A Cup Series Daytona 500. The third rookie to win it in our history. Wow. I love this race. This and the Indianapolis 250 are my 2 favorite races to do because they're just so good. How about the rookie driver, another rookie winning the Daytona 500, the 34 of Josh Marzak. Where did he start in this one? He started deep in the field, I know that much. Yeah, he started, see, we got 21 rows, so 20, he started in row 18 for this race on the outside. And he won the Daytona 500 from all the way back there. What a race here at Daytona. And that one was definitely a memorable one here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. I've never seen them hit the lap traffic like that before. And they just kept on spreading out because of that. But rookie Josh Marzak, he got through that lap traffic very, very well. And because of that, he was able to get the win. And how about Jonathan Skivnicki coming home second? Remember, he was quite a ways behind Sam Adio and Marzak on that final lap there, but he got the draft, and he ended up getting a second-place finish. Sam Adio had no help on the outside coming to the line, and because of that, he couldn't do anything. Nicholas Samadio came so close to becoming the first driver ever to win multiple Daytona 500s, but you gotta be happy about a third-place finish in this race. It's a lot of points there to start off the season, and Nicholas Samadio doing a good job in the 13 today. Abe Troxel, a nice fourth-place finish for the number 27. How about Jacob Reed in fifth? John Art, part-time driver Dan Smith Jr. in seventh. Jordan Newman, a late entry into the field in eighth. And the two Camerons there, Cameron Black, the pole sitter, getting a nice ninth-place finish, and Cameron Gaju rounding out the top 10. I'm shaking right now, man. That was exciting. Yeah, Ryan Madden, William Brock, Zachary Fitzwater, Josh Crash, Larry Ike, Davey Johnson, and Marty Johnson, along with Aiden Shepard, failing to finish for this one. Quite a few guys a lap down, like Selzman, Cole, Gordon, Turner, Hoffman, Keys, and Sinor. And we had a few moments with them near the end of that one, and that definitely played into who won this race. But you got to hand it to Josh Marzak in the 34. A rookie driver coming into this race, and he had to really use a lot of skills there near the end, getting around that lap traffic and holding off one of the best drivers we have here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, Nicholas Samadio. What a race, and Josh Marzak gets the victory in the Season 5 Chick-fil-A Cup Series Daytona 500. So if you thought that was good, wait until Tuesday when we have the Kids Colors 500 from Atlanta. That should be a good one there. We had a great finish there last season. It's always good at Atlanta, and always a tradition to have that race second in the season and have what might not necessarily be the most NASCAR-ish sponsor, I guess you can say. But it's pure tradition to have the Kids Colors 500 as the second race of the season. Love that race, love Atlanta, and it's going to be good on Tuesday. But this one was good here on Saturday, and the number 34 of Josh Marzak gets the victory in the Daytona 500. How about that? And anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. Here are the points for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series Season number 5. And that is it for me. Josh Marzak will be in the chase for Season number 5 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. He will battle for a championship in that number 34. And I'm going to have a good shot at winning it after what he did here in this race. He showed us that he is a good driver. But anyways, thank you guys very much for watching once again. Put a lot of time and effort into this stuff, guys. And, you know, I'm not trying to be like, hey, you need to, you know, do this in order to keep your car. But I really do appreciate it when you like the video. That shows that you guys appreciate what I do, all the time and effort I do put into this. I mean, I really enjoy doing this, and when you guys enjoy watching it, it just makes me happy, and that's what I'm here for. I want to make you guys happy, and getting wins like this, I'm sure that makes some people happy, and it's definitely really fun to do, and I hope you guys really enjoy it. So please leave a like. You know, I'm not trying to be all like, oh, you have to like. If you don't like, then you can't keep it right. I'm not like that. You know, if you don't want to like it, that's fine. I understand, you know, some people aren't into that. But hey, you know what? It's a very easy thing to do. You just click the button. And that just shows me, it simply shows me that you guys appreciate what I do. And that's kind of what keeps me going here. I don't I can't say this word. Monetize my videos. I think that's how you're supposed to say it. I don't make money on my videos at all. You know, this is totally a hobby for me. So, you know, go ahead, leave a like. I greatly appreciate it. And as I said, I'm not trying to be all like, hey, you need to like my videos. If you don't, I don't like you anymore. If you don't want to like it, that's totally fine, I understand. But the likes are much appreciated because that shows me that you guys really like these races. So thank you guys so much for all the support you have given me over the past year and a half. It is unbelievable what we've been able to accomplish here, and hope to keep on doing it. I don't plan to stop. Yeah, might slow down a little bit, but I never plan to stop here in the NRLOA. But anyways, thank you guys so much for all the support, all the subscribers, all the likes. I mean, you guys give me a lot of likes, and that greatly appreciated. And I want you guys to keep it up for me. And I'm not trying to be all like, you know, hey, you gotta. I know I said it. You get it now. You get it now. But I gotta hand to you guys. You guys are the best fans any YouTube channel could ever ask for, and I'm very blessed to have all you guys. And God bless you all. You all rock. And hope you have a good day today. We've got the Coke 0400. Another great Daytona race probably later tonight on NBC. That's going to be good. Got a lot of good Daytona stuff today, don't we? But anyways, a little long here on the outro, but that's okay. Congratulations to Josh Marzak for getting the victory here in the Daytona 500. And here are the points for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. I will see you guys later.